Hello everyone and welcome back to part 13 of the English Bull Terrier coloured pencil tutorial. I hope you're all doing really well and you're excited to finish off this lovely drawing of my dog Paddy with me. So let's just get started. If you're doing this with me in real time as I've been uploading, thank you for your patience waiting for this one. I got a little bit behind with posting. But anyway, let's just get started, and first things first, I want to start on this like dark area of fur. I feel like we definitely need to do that. So I'm just going to bring it out ever so slightly here with the cold grey one. So 230, and it's just here where the dark bit of his fur sort of just comes round a bit. Just want to blend that in. Make sure that there's no big gap. Okay, right. Now I'm going to start with the dark grey from the Pablos and start to build up that first layer of colour. It's very dark up here and then it's a little bit lighter down here, so I'm just going to keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm going to start at the top. So I'm just building it up with little strokes. You know the score by now. So I hope you're all doing really well. I had a little bit of a break from YouTube last week because I had a craft fair that I was busy prepping for, and I also had 2 days off to go to, I'm going to say Alton Towers now, Fort Park. So yeah, I didn't really get a lot of time for YouTube, but I'm back now, and this should be the last video for this tutorial. So yeah, there's a plane outside, that's a bit noisy, sorry. There we go. I've sharpened it a little bit too. So it comes up here. It's like a little bit of a white bit of fur there. So I'm trying to make sure I get the fur direction right as well. So it like curves round a little bit here. And when I'm sort of doing a headshot like this where I'm blurring out the bottom edge and I'm not drawing it right to the edge, I tend to like be a bit lighter, do really feathery strokes, and then I can sort of blend it out so it fades out into nothing. You can also use the eraser to kind of like soften the edge up too. Okay, then it also comes up to here. Blend it around there. So I think this is going to be another video where I'm just doing the same thing over and over quite often, so there won't be a whole lot of explaining to do. But yeah, I've done a vlog for the craft fair, so this will go up before that does. So keep your eye out for that if you're interested in craft fairs. I always vlog every single one that I do, so yeah, it's nice to look back on sometimes too. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea. I know a lot of people that are just like, no, I have no interest in doing craft fairs, they're not for me. And I totally understand that because there's a lot that goes into it. You have to be like, you have to really want to do it for it to be worth the effort. So here it just sort of like follows the same direction as that white fur that we did. So I'm just bringing it round, sort of just connecting those two sections together. Paddy is doing really well. He's currently laid on the floor behind me. We just went for a little short walk. And now he's all tired, so... I think once this drawing's finished, I'm going to get it professionally framed at my local framers, and I'll share that on a vlog too. I always think that professional framing looks just that bit better. You can buy some really nice, like, off-the-shelf ready-made frames, but I always make sure that they have glass in them, not plastic, because you can get frames that have a perspex front to them and you can just tell the difference in quality, like you can't see the artwork as well. So yeah, I'll probably get him professionally framed because it's a special piece for me. So it's always fun going and picking the frame. And I don't have a lot of artwork in this house, which is really starting to bother me now. You sort of like spend time and money getting everything else sorted first, and that's kind of like the final finishing touch, so. For some reason I feel like the Pablo pencils take longer to build up. I don't know if it's like they're just not quite as pigmented as the Polychromos, maybe. I don't know. I just always feel like they take me a bit longer. I feel like the lead almost feels a little bit harder. But I do like the colours, so I don't mind. Right, I kind of want this to be a bit of a nicer shape, so I'm just going to bring it out a bit more here. I want it to be nice and rounded. Might go back to it afterwards anyway. So yeah, as always, feel free to put some music on while we work together, or a podcast, or sit there in silence if you like. I mean, it is quite relaxing, sitting in silence and drawing. But yeah, do whatever you feel like doing. I'm holding my pencil quite far down. Just, it makes it a little bit faster. I don't have as much sort of control, but it just helps with big areas of like dark like this, where I just want to like build those strokes up quick. Hello, Paddy. We went to an English Bull Terrier meetup a couple of weekends ago, and it was the cutest thing ever. We often try and like get out and meet people with Bull Terriers when we can, because they're very unique, so a lot of dogs don't know how to play with them. They don't really know what to make of them. So it's nice to see them like play together and stuff when you meet up, so. But yeah, that was really cute. You can find meetups like that on Facebook. Just search for like Bull Terrier groups near me, or meetups near me, whatever. Or whatever breed of dog you have. It's really cute when you meet up with people with the same breed. I always see sausage dog ones and like Frenchie ones and stuff like that. Again, I'm just going to blend this edge out a little bit. And then I'm still sort of doing that feathering motion here where I'm blending it into the white fur. So it's like nice and soft. Then I'm carrying on, bringing it down here. I've got some new tracing paper, but although I don't feel like this is tracing paper, it looks more like tissue paper to me, but I don't know. I've not tried it for tracing, but it's a bit crinkly, so if you can hear like a weird crinkly noise, it's this underneath my hand. It's very thin. I don't think it's my favourite one that I've had. Oh, Paddy, what are you doing? Yeah, I am adamant that Pablos are harder than Polychromos because this wouldn't take this long with Polychromos, I don't think. Rubbing himself all over the floor. It's been very mischievous today. Just come and sat underneath my desk now. Is there anything cuter than having your pet sat with you while you're drawing? I love it. Let me know in the comments if you've got a pet and it comes and joins you while you're drawing or working or whatever it is. Now he's rubbing himself underneath my desk. I always knew that this drawing was going to look weird until we'd done this bottom bit. It looked a little bit like there wasn't a lot going on at the bottom. You might be able to hear the horse. It's just at the end of our garden. There's a stables next to us, so letting it out on the field. Paddy's new best friend is obsessed with just standing at the bottom of the garden and just looking at the horse and waiting for it to come over and say hello. It's funny because sometimes he'll bark at it like it's an intruder and he's warning it off of his what's the word? Oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. Off of his property, you know what I mean. Sometimes he barks at it and other times he's like, please be my friend. It's like he can never decide which. It's very protective over his turf. I saw a TikTok yesterday about a man that stole a bicycle from somebody's garage in America, and the CCTV footage inside the garage captured him stroking the dog, the golden retriever, just sort of like led down and did a belly flop, sort of led down on its back and wanted a belly rub. And it's just like, that dog would not be a good guard dog. It just made me laugh. It's like, yes, Robert, please come in. Please steal the bike. Right, that'll do for now. I'm going to use the Payne's Grey 181 And of course, just going to start darkening that up. So I'm going to start on this top bit again. Yeah, Polychromos are definitely a bit quicker to work with. I'm sure of it. I feel like that's why this portrait's taken me so much longer than I feel like it usually would. Just going to fix the shape of that bit there. Also just going to do some little bits coming off the top there. There he is, barking at the horse. Right, so when I get to the edge, because like I said I do want it to look a little bit faded out, I kind of don't quite go as far to the edge as I did with the lighter dark grey from the Pablos. So I try and keep it a bit more inwards, and then it has more of a gradient along the edge. But I do like some slightly longer strokes just to like blend it in a bit. Might even end up bringing it out a little bit more, but we'll see. Just gonna carry on building it up along here. And here. Okay, as you get around here, you can sort of see a bit of shape in his like muscles where there's a little bit of definition. So I need to make sure I try and follow that. So it's a little bit darker at this top bit, so we'll do this first. Darken up this bit. Again, I'm sort of like feathering it in. little bit here. He just pushed me on my chair. So, doing all this top bit. Okay, then I'm going to gradually sort of make it a bit lighter as you come down here. So I'm just lifting the pencil off and like being a little bit lighter with my strokes. And then it's a little bit darker around here. Obviously I'm not going to go too dark because it is supposed to be sort of fading out into nothing around there. So that muscle sort of comes like round here, but we've not gone that far yet, so I'm just going to do this little darker bit here, just to suggest a little bit of that muscle shape. Blending it down here a little bit. A bit more around here, I think. Be a bit more obvious once we've added the black on top. Okay, let's try it. Let's do the black 199 and really start to like darken this up. Again, I'm going to start from this top bit and work my way down. So bringing it up these little bits. Do some little bits there just to like get a bit more texture. And it's just a case of just keep going over and over it. Darken it up. I think I might end up bringing it out a little bit more, like to round it off a bit. But I'll do the black first and see how it's looking. His breathing's so loud. He's done that thing where he falls asleep with his nose pressed on something, so you can proper hear him breathing. Yeah, just darkening up this top bit here first. Like I always say, it's easier to do the really dark bits first and then go from there. So again, as I come down here, I kind of want to make that bit of muscle have a bit of a highlight to it to give it some shape. So gradually, as I come down, I'm going to lift the pencil off a bit lighter and just make it a bit lighter down here. Like that. So I'd do a few strokes down this bit just to break it up a little bit. Then I'm just going to bring a bit down here. more down here. And then I'm going to add some here. A bit more here. Throat always goes funny. Right, let's just use a little bit more cold grey 1 230. Let's bring it out a little bit more. Just want to start working on that shape a bit more. I think a lot of people can sometimes rush this stage where you're like doing the finishing touches and you're sort of finishing off the drawing, and you can ruin a drawing by rushing it. So I like to spend time perfecting details like this, just because it would be a shame to come this far and then to like rush this bit and it look a bit weird. So yeah, I'm just sort of bringing that out a little bit. Okay, then back to the dark grey by the Pablos. Doing the exact same thing, just bringing it out a bit more, perfecting that shape. Bit more around here. Obviously, like, do whatever shape you want to do, bring it out more, bring it out less, it's totally up to you, it's your drawing. I just like to keep going until I've got a shape that I'm happy with. And if you just do it really gradually, you can see if you like it as you go. You can bring it out a bit more. That's why I like to just do everything really slowly. Quite like how it's like out a bit more here. It's sort of like works nicely with both sides. I'm always looking at it as like as a whole, how the composition works all together. Right, let's add a bit more Payne's Grey, 181. Just adding a bit more over this bit. Definitely a bit more up here. Add a bit more around here. And I'm going to go back to the black, 199, and I'm just going to darken it up a little bit more. We'll definitely need the Derwent Drawing Black too, just for that extra bit of darkness. Add a little bit here. Just trying to fill in any like light areas that are a bit grainy. Add a little bit more around here. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of the Derwent Drawing Ivory Black and really going in and darkening it up. Definitely needs to be darker along this sort of edge. That seems to be one of the darkest places. So I'll just keep bringing it down. It does take some time, but it's so worth it once it's done. It's amazing just how much more black you can get it once you think you've already gone dark. You can sort of deepen it up even more with that second black. There we go, that's making a difference now. We do get there in the end. Just going to keep building it up because it just seems like no matter how much you add, you can always add more, annoyingly. I feel like I might just add a little bit more up there afterwards too. I'm going to bring it down here a bit. Okay, I might just go back to the black 199. I'm just going to blend these little bits out a tad more. And I feel like there's like a bit of a pinky colour there. I might just add a bit more nougat to begin with, so 178. Just going to blend that area out a little bit more. Doing some slightly chunkier bits. I think I'll definitely need to darken up this top area too. I just add a bit more nougat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom you out. We're going to look at this sort of bottom half of the portrait and see what bits need doing. It's so hard to get a full drawing in the camera shot, but I've got the bottom bit in, and first off I'm just going to use my eraser and just soften up the edge. I really like to do this if I've not quite got it soft enough. I might even end up bringing it out a little bit more. Yeah, I think I need to bring this bit out a tad more. So I'm going to add some cold grey 1. 230. Bring this out a bit. I feel like I did it a bit dark. Could even just like do it a bit sideways just to speed it up. Bit more dark grey from the Pablos. I do tend to like go over these bits quite a few times and erase them a few times and go over again until I've got it perfect. But if yours looks good, then just obviously skip through me trying to sort it out, but it's always hard when you're filming as well to get these bits right, because I can't put my head too close to the paper. Gonna add a bit more Payne's Grey 181. Gonna add a bit of this round here. I still feel like I've not quite got that shape of this bit just right. Bring it across here a bit more. That's better. More over here. I'm going to blend it up a tiny bit more around here. And I'm going to add a few little bits just where it meets that white fur, just to blend it in a little bit more. bit more around here. Right, that's looking better now. I'm going to add a little bit more Derwent Drawing Ivory Black to this top bit here. So, just going to darken it up a little bit more. Obviously, it's just a case of refining everything now, so feel free to do as you wish, do whatever you feel like needs doing. I always like to spend a bit of time at the end sort of perfecting it, especially if you lean your hand over, sometimes you can lose the depth that way as well, so it's just good to go back over everything. A lot of noises outside today, but they're building some new houses, so it's just always like in a construction site. Just doing some round here. Blending it out. Just going to bring it up here a little bit. Could keep going forever and ever with this, so there comes a point where you have to be like, right, I'm happy with it now. Just going to do a bit down here too. Mostly just around here that I want to darken up. Going to bring this line down a bit. Just going to shade it a bit to really try and darken it up. Maybe a little bit more here. A little bit more there. And I'm unsure whether I should darken up this sort of area here. Might add a little bit more cocoa from the Pablos. Start to layer it up a tad more. A little bit more pressure. Just want a bit more definition. I'm just going over most of it and just trying to darken it up a bit, get a bit more of a defined shadow. Like it's definitely making a difference. Going around here a bit more. Something weird going on outside today. This bit definitely needs to be a little bit darker. Maybe even a bit more around here on this bit. So hard for me to get this angle with my hand. Add a little bit more to this bit too. I feel like the horse might have kicked the door off because that's happened a couple of times before. And they've had to come and sort it out, and I can see him outside now doing something, so. Gonna do a bit more around here. This video might end up being quite long with all these things that I'm adding to it. We definitely needed more shadow on this white bit. It's looking a lot better now. It's not until you do like the darker areas though that you can tell. That's why I always like to do like the dark bits and then make my decision with how dark I'm going. Definitely need to darken up this bit. I think sometimes it can be easy to be like afraid to go dark on what's technically a white light area of fur, but it's never that light really. There's more shadow in it than you realise. What are you barking at, Paddy? Tell you what, Paddy has been growing up recently. Sorry, I feel like you couldn't just see that bit I did there. I was just going over everything that we'd already done. I feel like he's settling down. We've nearly had him for a year, so I feel like it takes time, doesn't it, when you rehome a dog for them to like become settled and for them to get used to like the lifestyle and stuff. But we took him to the pub the other day, and I don't know if I've ever told you before, but we really struggle taking him places like that because he gets unsettled, he cries, and we have to leave because it's just too much. Anyway, we took him for a walk the other day, then we went to the pub in the beer garden afterwards, thinking, see if we can get a drink, if not, we'll just leave. Anyway, we got there, he was really well behaved, we got a drink, and then we said, should we order some food? Because he was being that good. We thought we might get away with it. And anyway, it was absolutely brilliant the whole time. There were loads of other dogs there. We were all sat in this like one end of the beer garden. There were like 2 other bully breed dogs, so that was really nice. And everyone kept saying, oh, he's the best behaved dog here, he's so good. And I was just like, what is going on? He's not usually like this. But I'm taking that as like a bit of a sign that he's sort of growing up. He's like getting used to things. The hard work and consistency is like starting to pay off now. So, yes, all is good. I'm really proud of him. And I felt like crying happy tears. I kept saying to my mum and dad, because I was with them, I was like, I'm so proud of him, I can't believe it. I kept like getting all emotional. I know that sounds like such a silly like little thing, like, oh, we took the dog to the beer garden and he was alright, but considering what he used to be like, it's just like an amazing step forward. We didn't think we'd ever be able to take him anywhere like that. I still wouldn't go inside the pub with him or anything, because then he really gets unsettled, but like, at least I know that we can sit outside now and it won't be too much of a stress. We're getting there with this. Might just darken this bit up a tiny bit more. Gonna add some more here. I feel like that colour looks right. I thought there might have been a bit more of a pink, but I think it just needed more nougat. Bring a bit down here. Just gonna add a little bit more here. A little bit here. They were crying at the door to get out and now he's crying to come back in. Just gonna add a tiny bit more black 199 just to blend this bit out, and then I'm gonna move you up. We're going to have a look at the top bit of the face, and then probably it won't be too far from finished now. Right, I kind of just want to darken up this ear a little bit. So I'm going to use some black 199 and just darken it up here. Gonna add a bit more black along here. A little bit more around here. A little bit round here. Gonna add a bit more Payne's Grey 181 to this ear. So like I said, this is all optional based on how your portrait's looking. But I wouldn't feel right just doing this off camera and then being like, yeah, I made a lot of changes. Add a bit more here. I might eventually go back and tweak it a bit off camera when I've done all these tweaks if it needs anything else, because sometimes I do go away and come back and just add a bit more, but it wouldn't be anything that, you know, we haven't already gone through, or might not even be something that you need to change on yours. So it would be a long old video if I did every single little tweak. But yeah, this is just what I tend to do at the end of a portrait. I really spend time going back over, making sure the whole thing looks nice and finished, and all the dark bits are dark enough and all the light bits are light enough and all that kind of stuff. So, and it's very unique to each piece, so that's why I say, like, if yours doesn't need this, don't follow everything that I'm doing, do you know what I mean? I don't think it's too far off though now. I think it's looking pretty good. Maybe just add a bit more. I think I might just blend a bit more through this bit here. I don't think I'm going to do much more. I feel like I'm quite happy with it. That tissue paper is doing my head in. It's so crinkly. Okay, let's just add a little bit more of the Payne's Grey through this bit here. Just need a little It's been that long, I don't even know how to speak anymore. Just needs a bit more texture, I think. I think think I might leave it there. I feel like it's been a long old video. I've definitely been filming for a good 2 hours now, so I don't know how long the video is itself once I've cut all of the noise and stuff out of it, but yeah, I don't want to go on forever making tweaks because I really could just, you know, go on forever with it. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial series. Make sure to tag me in your pictures if you upload any to Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, or send me an email with your work or a DM, whatever you like to do. And yeah, I shall hopefully see you in the next one. So thank you for joining me. I'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a like because it really helps me out, and subscribe to see more tutorials like this. The next one that we're going to be doing is a black Labrador. I already have the reference ready, so yes, stick around if you'd like to join me for that, and bye for now.